So demo number 3 for today, phase 3. Okay, you need to have your image in front of you. Some of you don't have your image, so you're just gonna have to watch. And I'll have this in Canvas for you, okay? So you've got your image, and now you need to grab your viewfinder, okay? And you need to use your viewfinder, on your image like this, and you get to choose how you would like to set up this viewfinder on your image, okay? So you need to kind of isolate the most interesting part on your picture and do what? Well, you got to see my picture's too big for mine too. So I'm like, okay, I think I want to focus on this jelly. This is my picture from last year. Yeah, what? I printed it yesterday for you. Didn't I? Go get it. All right, guys. So, okay, take a minute. Find where you want your image to show up. So this is you kind of doing your project here, okay? Yes. Or you're isolating what you want your project to look like. Okay, so mine's a little, I don't know what I did with my graph last year. Okay, once you have, and again, you want to kind of pick your more interesting stuff, okay? Or if you have an animal that has like a recognizable face, you probably want to get that in your image instead of cropping that out. So then once you find the spot that you like, go ahead and tape your viewfinder down onto your image. Okay, so you just tape it right down there. Okay, now for most of you, or what I was going to say here at the very beginning of class is that we were just going to use our permanent marker, but since some of us are just a touch sketchy or just still a little working through your ruler, we're going to start this in pencil first, and then we're going to go over it with permanent marker so you can see your lines. So basically now what we're doing is we're going to grid out your image using this viewfinder, and it's already pretty much laid out for us. Okay? So, all right, guys. So if we look at our viewfinder, we've got all these. Do you see the lines that create the boxes on the viewfinder itself? Do you see those? Okay, those are like already our measurement marks. So everybody watch. Okay. Yeah, okay, everybody watch. So I'm gonna start by doing all these first. So the line in between my 5 and 6, I'm gonna line my ruler up along there. And I'm going to draw right on my picture. And I'm starting with pencil first, even though I could be going with permanent marker because I know I'm confident with my ruler. Okay, so if you're not confident with your ruler, start with your pencil first. But I will tell you that if you try to erase on your image, it's going to pull the ink up. So just be real precise. You've got these lines here already for you. And so now I'm just going to go through. I'm going to line my ruler up on those lines that are already provided for me on the viewfinder. Starting with my pencil first, but then I'll go back in with a permanent marker, if a thin Sharpie. If you're confident you're getting the ruler skills down pretty easily, just go ahead and use your permanent marker to begin with. Okay? So I'm going all the way across. All right, so I've got all of my number lines here, and then I'm going to flip my image over, and I'm going to finish my grid up by the lines that are in between the letters. Okay.
So no, it can't get to his email. So can I get on mine and send it to you?
Uh-oh. Yeah. This is an issue like every single time.
Every time.
I don't know.
I'll get on mine.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, guys. Okay, so you should have not only your project paper gridded out like this, 2 by 2, but now your image is going to be gridded out as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a couple lines in permanent marker so you guys can see what that should look like. Okay, so you just line your ruler up along those viewfinder lines that are already provided for you. All right, guys, so just like that. You guys see that? Okay. Now, last thing that I'm going to talk about today is now how you start kind of using your grid or figuring out your grid to your paper. I'm not actually going to show you any like drawing techniques today. I'll do that tomorrow since we're almost out of time. But I want you to, I'm going to go through how you work through grids. So did you guys ever in your elementary classes when you had math, do you remember when you were given like this long sheet that would give you like coordinates like 2 and 4 and you had to find that box and then like color it in a certain color and then it made a picture? Okay, that's you guys working off of a grid. So it's very similar to this, okay? Shh. Listen, this is important. So if we take a look at this viewfinder that's now on top of your image, the way that you read this is this upper right-hand corner is box 1A. Okay, the next one over would be 1B. Next one over, 1C and 1D. Okay, and that's how you go through and read them out. So if I told you to try and find 4B, you would count down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'd go A, B. So here's your 4B square. Okay? So what we're going to do is tomorrow when I start teaching you how to draw, our image with our viewfinder correlates to our project paper. Okay, so you've got an A1 box on your paper, on your image, and you also have an A1 box on your project paper that's twice as large. Okay, so tomorrow, guys, this is what I'm going to show you. Look. Okay, so this one already has a little bit done on there. Whoa. So I already worked through my A box, A1 box, and my A2 box. And so what I do is I break my lines up per box and I draw them exactly as they're shown in that box on my picture. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to go through that part with you tomorrow. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call